The Crystal Collection, Stories That Tickle the Funny Bone, Chapter 5, Part 1. These are stories of 2020 hindsight, looking back with laughter. Mickey Peluso is a Tales to Inspire multi-award winner who recounts the day that her husband asked her to fill in for her at his restaurant, the Chicken Coop. The title of her story, 86 the Coleslaw. On the day that her husband needed to be out of town, he told her it was going to be a snap to run the place, that it pretty much ran itself. But he was so wrong. From turning bushels of potatoes into French fries to preparing over 500 pounds of chicken for the barbecue, nothing seemed to go right. Even the cash register balked. She soon learned that 86 the coleslaw definitely did not mean 86 orders. And what about that mouse? Well, you'll just have to read the story for yourself. The Crystal Collection, Stories That Tickle the Funny Bone. This is Chapter 5 again, the second story in that chapter, Stories of 2020 Hindsight, Looking Back with Laughter. This second story is titled Learning to Sail, and it was written by Gerald Walford. He tells the tale of how he, as a cocky young fellow, thought that he could master anything with a snap of his fingers. So he and his pal bought a small sailboat, did a few minor repairs, and set off for an adventure. But when a humongous ocean liner headed right toward them, they suddenly realized neither of them knew how to navigate their boat out of harm's way. His pal decided his sailing days were over, but not Gerald. He went to the library and studied up on sailing. Now he was a cocky, knowledgeable sailor, and he invited his girlfriend out for a sail. "Watch out for the boom, Gerald." Well, you can see for yourself what happened. No more sailing for Gerald. No more girlfriend either. The Crystal Collection, Stories That Tickle the Funny Bone, Chapter 5, 2020 Hindsight, Looking Back with Laughter. The third story in this video is titled Daisy, and it was written by Kenneth J. Stern. Ken tells the story, a story from his childhood, about his favorite dog, Daisy, who one day just seemed to vanish from their yard. Despite putting ads in the local newspapers and posting notices all over town, they eventually became pretty much resigned to the fact that Daisy was gone for good. But then one day, when he and his mom were downtown, she spotted a somewhat white but kind of mangy, dirty dog, but she was convinced, despite Ken's denials, that this was her Daisy. She coaxed it into their car, brought it back home, and took it downstairs for a good bath. Uh-oh, it wasn't until she was drying the dog that she spotted something that doesn't belong on a dog named Daisy. I guess you can figure out the rest for yourself. This ends video 1 of the chapter 2020 Hindsight, Looking Back with Laughter. If you liked it, don't forget, click that like button and then share it with your circle of friends. And also, look for part 2 for 2 more wonderful stories from that chapter.